Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can achieve this clock-inspired makeup from the musical The Last 5 Years. Now for those of you who don't know or have never heard of The Last 5 Years, The Last 5 Years is a musical that was also made into a movie starring Anna Kendrick and Jeremy Jordan, which I personally am absolutely in love with. It's one of my favorite musicals ever, and in the musical there's a song called the Schmuel song. This is sung by Jeremy Jordan, who probably has one of the best voices that I've ever heard. He is telling a story to his wife to kind of try and cheer her up and help motivate her. So he concocts this story, because he's an author and a storyteller, about an old man named Schmuel who's an old tailor in a shop in 𝐒𝐤𝐿, and basically he's just going through the routine every single day and not really living his life to the fullest. Then suddenly one day this magic clock appears to grant him a wish to turn back time and take the old man Schmuel back to when he was happiest, which was when he met his wife. I'll be leaving a link to the song down below so you guys can check it out instead of me just rambling trying to explain it, but it is absolutely beautiful. It is so good. And so for this look, I decided to transform myself into how I envision the clock to be. Now personally, in a lot of ways, I envision the clock to be completely different, like a man with like a really cool mustache going on. I wanted to make her look a little bit different, so I actually took some inspiration from last year when I did A Christmas Carol and I did the Ghost of Christmas Past. Now for that character design, I actually wanted to make her look a little bit like Belle, which was Scrooge's true love. Just because I feel like for the Ghost of Christmas Past, there would be pieces of him that linker so much with Belle because she was his past and his true love. So I kind of wanted to do something similar with the clock. So I wanted to make the clock resemble Schmuel's love from whenever he was younger. As I've said before, a lot of my makeup looks take inspiration from things that I am very passionate about, and a lot of that is musicals and theater and books and movies, and so I love trying to bring them to life and also kind of create my own character design. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and if you guys are interested, I do have a playlist that I will link down below of all of my 12 days of SFX-mas looks, so you guys can kind of catch up and see what I've been up to. Anyways, with that being said, if you guys are interested in seeing how you can achieve this clock-inspired makeup look, then just keep watching. Hey guys, so to get started, I'm going to be taking my Buckle Bunny Beauty Fringe Benefit Primer and applying it all over my face. Before moving on to foundation, I'm going to be taking my Too Faced Born This Way foundation in Warm Nude and applying that all over my face with a large buffing brush. This actually personally isn't my favorite foundation. I think on my skin type it looks a little bit too cakey, but I don't know, a lot of people seem to love it. It's just, I personally love the Tarte Rainforest DC foundation. So in case you guys are wondering why I'm using a different foundation, it's not necessarily out of preference, it's out of necessity. Next, I will be taking my Buckle Bunny Beauty Creamed Powder Foundation in Mocha and applying this to the areas that I would normally contour before blending this out. Once that is done, I'm going to be moving on to highlighting my face, and I'm going to be taking my ColourPop No Filter Concealer in number 14 to brighten the areas that might have gotten a little dark from the contour. So this is going to be under my eyes, under my cheekbones, my cupid's bow, and my forehead before blending this out using my ColourPop F5 Small Fluffy Brush. I will then be moving on to taking my Airspun Translucent Powder and applying this to the areas that we had the highlight to let that sit and bake while we move on to eyeshadow. I'm going to be taking my Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Primer and priming my eyelids before moving on to the actual eyeshadow. So I'm going to be taking my Jaclyn Hill Morphe eyeshadow palette, taking this highlight color and just applying this directly onto our brow bone. Next, I will be taking this light nude peach color and applying this into the crease to serve as our transition shade before taking this mustard khaki color and starting at the outer corner of the eye. I'm going to be creating almost a V shape and then blending this out through the rest of our crease, making sure to continuously blend as we go so that we don't have any harsh lines that are going to be more difficult to remove later on. I will then be taking this red eyeshadow and doing the exact same thing. I'm going to be creating a small V on the outer corner of the eye and blending it in through the crease, and I'm even going to top it off with another layer of this red to really add to the opacity. Next, I'm going to be taking my ColourPop No Filter Concealer in white and starting at the inner corner of the eye, I'm going to be tapping this into place to create a half cut crease before applying it to the center of the eyelid. Once again, with this kind of cut crease, you want to make sure to set this with some white eyeshadow so that it doesn't bleed onto the rest of your eyelid. Next, I will be taking this highlight color and I'm just going to be applying this to the inner corner of the eyelid before going into this rusted orange color and starting at the outer corner of the cut crease. I'm just going to be using that to blend into the red eyeshadow from earlier. I'm then going to be going into this dark rose gold color and applying that to the very center of the eyelid to kind of add a little bit of a gradient before taking this light rose gold and applying this right in between the yellow highlight and the darker rose gold. I will then be brushing away the excess translucent powder so I can move on to the lower lash line. I'm going to be going back into the mustard khaki color and applying this all over the lower lash line before going into the red and just applying this to the outer corner of the lower lash line. I also decided that I'm going to be taking my NYX Epic ink liner and create a nice sharp wing for this look. I felt like this would be really cool to kind of also help symbolize clock hands. This is a very subtle detail, and honestly it doesn't really make that much of a difference, but that's kind of where my brain went and I thought it'd be kind of cool. For my face, I'm going to be taking my Too Faced Cocoa Contour Palette, taking medium and dark cocoa, and using this to not only set the cream contour from earlier, but help deepen the contour as well. I'm also going to add a little bit more color to my face by taking my Physicians Formula bronzer and just applying this all over the areas that we contoured, and also my forehead as well, to kind of add a little bit more of a sun-kissed glow. I will then be taking my Physicians Formula Butter Blush in Plum Rose, and I'm going to be applying this right on top of the contour to kind of help blend in with the blush. And speaking of blush, I'm going to be taking my Buckle Bunny Beauty Honey Bunny Blush and just applying this to the apples of my cheeks. For my highlight, I'm going to be taking my BH Cosmetics Spotlight Highlight Palette, taking Dream and Glow, and just applying this to my cheekbones, my nose, my cupid's bow, and my temples. I'm then going to be prepping my eyelashes by curling them, and then taking my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara and just sweeping this through my eyelashes. Following that, I will be taking my Maybelline Nude Eyeliner and applying that to my lower waterline to help brighten that up a bit before taking my Sugar Pill Plush Eyelashes and applying this to my upper lash line. I'm then going to be applying my fun little gadgets and gizmos. I got these from Michael's Craft Stores, and I'm going to be applying it using my Ben Nye Spirit Gum. I'm going to be applying one little clock hand right above my eyebrow and the other right under my eye. I'm then going to be taking my Graftopian Pro Paint in White Swan, and I'm going to be creating a little Roman numeral 12, and I'm using a picture as reference because I am doing this backwards. I'm going to be doing the same thing with the Roman numeral 5 on the lower clock hand. I'm then going to be taking my NYX Epic ink liner to create the shadows on the Roman numerals. This made it a lot easier because the liner had a very stiff brush tip that it wouldn't bleed in to my white body paint. Next, I'm going to be taking some of my Mehron Metallic Powder in Gold, mixing it with some of my mixing liquid. I'm going to be applying it to the opposite side of the face that I have the Roman numeral and clock hands, and I'm even going to be bringing it down to my body later on, but I wanted to start off by applying it onto the face with some light stippling motions so that we can always build it up later. I'm also going to be taking some more of my Ben Nye Spirit Gum and applying a little bit of that onto the face with the gold metallic powder, and we're actually going to be taking some gold leaf that you can also get from Michael's and just applying this right on top. You want to try to blend this out so it doesn't end up looking like a straight crescent line, but this can be kind of difficult because it will only adhere to where the glue is. Going back into my Mehron Metallic Powder in Gold and Copper, I'm going to be blending this down to my neck and chest like I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to be using a sponge for this just so we can apply more quicker, and I'm also going to be taking some of the raw gold metallic powder on a large brush and just brushing that over that side of the body. Going back into our gadgets and gizmos and using some Spirit Gum to adhere, I'm going to be applying a few more gears randomly onto the body and also bringing it up to the neck as well. I'm then going to be taking my Lemonhead Paradise Beef Space Jam on a paintbrush and just lightly applying it onto the metallic area of my body, and I'm also going to be bringing it onto my face using my finger as well. Next, we're going back into our Ben Nye Spirit Gum and applying a little bit of that onto the gold chest area before taking some of our gold leaf and applying that right on top. Next, I'm going to be moving on to lips by taking my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in Deep and outlining my lips before taking my NYX Metallic Liquid Suede in Modern Maven and just applying this to the outer corners of my lips. And last but not least, I'm going to be taking my Smashbox Be Legendary Liquid Metal in Haterade and apply this to the very center of the lips to serve as a little bit of a metallic ombre look. And that is the completed look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to see next. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel so you can see more of my 12 days of SFX-mas videos. I will also be leaving a playlist link down below so you guys can check it out easier. Anyways, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!